JP Heath from the Church of Sweden, and today I'm in conversation with Imam Muhsin Hendricks from Cape Town. Muhsin, in our lived experiences, we engage with all sorts of people, and my faith community has had a real issue with sex work. Is this so for you as well?
Yes, most certainly. Although my work started out with the queer Muslim community, later on I discovered a lot of the queer Muslims also are part of sex work, and the double stigma that they have to experience in their communities. And so it was something that I also needed to investigate and to get involved in, so that there was another way that I could support them. So I actually signed up as a board member of SWEAT, which is an organization that deals with sex workers.
Sex workers, learned empowerment and advocacy.
And advocacy, that's right. And I've learned quite a lot about sex work through just listening to the narratives of the sex workers. And then it reminded me of a verse in the Qur'an in Surah An-Nur, chapter 24, verse 33, where it actually says to the men, and do not force your females into sex work, desiring pleasure and exhibition. So kind of putting women on exhibition when they actually desire chastity. And if you do that, you will find God will return towards them most forgiving, most merciful. And so it's such a profound message for those who perpetrate or who perpetuate the system of sex work. Not necessarily that sex work, there's anything wrong with it, because people can also choose to be sex workers. But the system that promotes sex work, that often leaves most of these sex workers with no choice but to go for sex work. And then also speaking to the whole issue of moralizing sex work, is that if you setting up the systems, you perpetuate these systems, and in the end you blame the sex worker and say that, this is it's sort of a bad choice to make. And God says, but at the end of the day, we will turn to them most forgiving, most merciful. So a couple of messages within one verse.
When we look at the Bible, some of the most profound acts of salvation have come through the agency of sex work. So, for instance, when Joshua is leading the Israelites into the land of Canaan, it is a sex worker on the walls of Jericho who harbors and protects the Israelites. And that sex worker then becomes part of the genealogy of Jesus, and is recorded for us in Matthew's Gospel. So in Matthew's Gospel we have 2 sex workers. There's only 5 women who are identified as part of the genealogy of Jesus, and I mean that's rare already because it's just a male line, but 5 women are identified, and 2 of them are involved in sex work. And for me this is such a powerful statement of the inclusivity of God.
There is a similar hadith, narration of the Prophet, where there was a sex worker who gave water to a dog, and because of this act, God forgave her and she went to heaven. And it's a very well-known hadith, and it speaks about where God's mercy and forgiveness lies, and it always lies with those who live on the peripheries of society, the marginalized of society. So I love to work with the marginalized. I want to be part of those who are blessed.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think that the one thing that I have learnt more than anything else is that when you work with the marginalized, speak to the people concerned. Don't speak about them.
Absolutely.
Speak
Yes.
with them. Because they
Give
have
them
a story,
voice.
they have a narrative,
Right.
and they challenge us continually.
Absolutely.
Bless you, thank you. I've enjoyed
Thank you.
talking to you about this.
You're welcome.